Hello, everyone. How is everyone? I'm gonna give it a couple minutes and let folks join, and then we can get started. Actually, I'm gonna just start. Oh shoot, we got 5 people in here. We got 5 people in here. If y'all in here, let me know in the chat. Because I don't know if it's lagging or what's going on, but if you're here live with me, please hit. Why you go back to for what reason? Okay, so there are folks in here. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad that y'all are here. I want to be straight up and real with y'all that tonight we're just going to be having just a real candid conversation. Quite honestly, I had a rough day today of like just in general. You can't hear me? Can y'all let me know if y'all can hear me? Hi, me. I can hear you clearly. Okay. I don't know if comments are coming in late or not, but yeah. Okay. So someone can hear me, someone can't. All right, we're gonna just assume everyone can hear me. Anyway, so we're gonna just have a candid conversation. As I announced to all y'all, I want to apologize just from the jump. I'm staying in a hostel right now, and unfortunately, that means that comes with hostile noise. So I don't know why there's a dog here, but there's a dog here. Anyway, I wanted to come in here and just have a real and honest conversation about my going back to the United States, what that means, what that looks like for. I really wish that dog would stop barking. What that means for my channel, what that means for my journey, and all that stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I wanted to thank y'all for being here, and first and foremost, I wanted to let everyone know. So, and I wanted to let everyone know first and foremost that I just want to be honest. Today has been a rough day. I had a lot of issues today with housing, and my day kind of started with I found a nice place. I needed a place for 2 days in between two other housing things. And the first place I booked wound up being a sex hotel. And then, so I canceled that. I was like, I'm not built for this. And then I was trying to find a hostel, which is where I found here, which is where I'm staying right now. And then the hostel, I walked into the room, it smelled weird. There's no hand soap, little things like that. Things like that. That's just like, okay, this is a lot. And I know it just sounds like small things, but I think trying to navigate that and there's a storm in the city, all these different things. With all that being said, um, me going back to the United States. Please, if y'all have questions about me going back, please drop them in the chat. I'd love to answer them. But I'm not announcing exactly when I'm going back to the States just for my own safety. I never just say exactly when I'm going somewhere. But I will be going back to the United States within the next week. And why? So there's a couple reasons why. Number one, I have decided that it's time. So I still have some stuff in storage in Reno, Nevada. So I definitely need to go back and get that sorted out. I also, want to spend time with my friends and family, but also, which is something I plan on talking about more on my channel and making some content about, is I feel like these last few months have been a bit of a struggle. I feel like since I got hit with COVID, like I never really came back from that. Getting COVID really put me in a situation where I don't know, like it put me in a weird financial situation. It also put me in a situation where like like I was really sick. Like I had a lot of symptoms and stuff like that. So I lost out on some job opportunities. And since then, I've been trying to find new contracts and stuff like that because I do freelance work. Um, Also, with that, I think on top of that, I just felt like I'm in Mexico. I'm already in North America. It's time to go back. But there's a lot coming up with this decision to go back to the United States. And what I mean by that is like, I know folks are like, oh, like some people are telling me, like I posted on Instagram, like, congratulations, you're going to see your family. And, that's cool. But it's like, I want folks to understand, like, and I feel like I'm getting emotional. I feel like I'm understanding more now just how much I have changed and grown since I left the United States. The person who I am today is not the person that stepped on that plane and took that leap. I mean, while we are the same person, it's very much um, how I navigate things are very different. Um, I have my pace of life is a lot slower. I'm not Another thing I realized, like I'm not really used to being in white spaces. Like if I'm not hanging out with other black expats or something like that, I'm hanging out with locals. I'm hanging out with other Afro or brown people. And what else? There's just so many pieces to it. So yeah, before I go into all that, but outside of that, I plan on going back to the States for a month because, as I have said in my channel a couple times, I'm not currently vaccinated, unfortunately. I've been super careful. I did get COVID at one time, but I plan to go back to the States so I can get vaccinated because when I left the United States, there's no such thing as a COVID-19 vaccine. And trying to get vaccinated abroad is a whole nother thing. Um, I wanted to see. So I plan on going for a month. Where I plan on going, so my goal is to go back to the States, get my stuff out of storage, get vaccinated, spend time with my friends and family, hopefully secure either more opportunities with my YouTube channel that can be create more stability in monetization, or also working with trying to get some contracts or whatever so I can do some freelance work on the side to kind of supplement and make sure that I have enough income to really be able to have this journey in an intentional way. I also want to say at any point, if anyone has any questions, please feel to drop them in the chat. Let's see. JMac said, "Why do you go back to the U.S. for what reason?" That's a good reason. That's a good question. I don't know honestly. No, I do know, but yeah, I'm going back for a couple different reasons. But at the end of the day, I think in general, it's like I think it's time, but I don't think when I've thought about this whole journey of going back to the States, I never thought that how do I say it? I don't think I was ever going to be ready to go back to the States. Like I don't think there's like unless I was like I think the only situation in which I'll be like, all right, it's time to go back, like I'm ready, is I think if I was in a better financial situation, just so I have more freedom because living in the United States is expensive. And right now I'm hearing that stuff is even more expensive than usual with gas and everything. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, J Mac. Also wanted to say hi to Tanya. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Wifey 1993. Thank y'all so much. We have Mavis in here. Thank you for being here. Who else we have in here? We also have Amani. We're praying for you and wishing you well. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate that. I think one thing is I was scared about announcing this before was that I felt like people would be like, oh my gosh, you're being dramatic. Like, just go back to the States. But it's just like, I think other travelers and other people that have been outside the country will resonate with me and understand like that reverse culture shock and what kind of comes up and what it feels like when you're trying to reintegrate into the States. Um, but also it's just like I have a friend that just came back and just went back to the United States and she's like, no, I don't want to be here, like I don't want to do this, like blah 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 blah. So I think that is really true. Let's see, we have some comments. I'm sorry, what do you mean when you say you haven't been able to get vaccinated in Latam? A lot of people are fully vaccinated in pretty much every country. So basically, with as a tourists. There are some countries I've been in, and also this has varied at different points of the pandemic and at different times at the pandemic, and also different countries. There's some countries that at the time I was there, they were not vaccinating tourists because they were very much rightfully so focused on vaccinating the citizens of their country. There are some countries where their tourists would have to pay for vaccination, which I think at certain times was not accessible for me as much. And then also the other thing that I think folks don't realize is, unfortunately, because of a good part of it, U.S. was hoarding vaccines. A lot of countries had vaccines that were not recognized by the U.S. So I could have gotten a vaccine, but then it may have been one that wasn't recognized by the United States. So, and I don't even want to know what that looks like as far as like getting two different types of vaccines. So it just every single time I like looked into it, I was like trying to figure out what was possible. Um, it's just something wasn't going well. So I think those different reasons are why I'm not. It's not because there are no vaccines in Latin America. That's not what I'm saying at all. Um, just for me as a U.S. citizen, um, it just didn't make sense for me to get a vaccine that either wasn't recognized by my country or like the other barriers that I spoke to. But thank you for asking that. And hello, Kimberly. How are you? um, are you concerned about how your friends and family may receive you now that you've embraced your authentic self? So we asking the real questions. See, I didn't come out here to cry, y'all. Yeah, that's a big since I think you're coming so earlier last year I came out as pansexual, and then last year at the end of the year I came out as trans, and that has been a bit of an issue. Um Let me make sure, can y'all hear me because it's saying that my connection's a little unstable. Um but yeah, so that is something I'm concerned about because I have some family that don't, I wouldn't say approve of, but don't, they say they don't agree, which I don't know how you can or cannot agree with someone's identity, but they don't agree with the being trans and being a part of the LGBT community in different ways. So it is a lot because I have some family that, I've talked to and they just expressed that they don't agree. I have some family where I have not really had much conversation because we haven't really had much of a relationship in general, but by default, I'm going to have to interact with them or probably going to have to talk to them once I am in the States. So I think it's definitely a lot of concerns, you know, and, also just the family that are a little bit more, I guess, accepting in some ways, but still having to deal with folks misgendering you and calling you the wrong name and, different things like that. I think there's so many layers to it. And it definitely is something I think is something I'm concerned with because I have been in so many spaces where I've cultivated spaces where, all my friends around me use the correct pronouns. They call me the correct name, and they honor who I am. And I know I may not have that in all the spaces I'm in the States. So thank you for asking that. Chocolate Rose said, "Hey, me safe travels. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate that. You can always return. There's no harm in that. Safe travels. Give yourself some grace. Thank you so much for that. And that's the thing. Like, I definitely do plan. I don't plan on staying in the United States because I think that's part of it as well. Is that I think once you see what is possible and what is out there, it's hard to kind of just like be like, all right, I guess I'm gonna just stay in the States. Like, it's hard to just, I don't want to say settled, but it's just like I feel like there's a lot more access. No, don't get me wrong. Like I've had my pitfalls and stuff like that abroad, but um, I think that I very much see. I love seeing the growth in who I am as a person when I'm abroad, when I'm traveling, when I'm outside of my comfort zone, when I'm learning new things and stuff like that. And I think a lot of times in the States, just the culture of things is very like cannot sometimes not conducive to that. It's very capitalist centered, all these different things. So I don't know. I think I don't plan on staying in the States forever, but that's really real. Um, so yeah, exactly, mom. Once you see, you cannot unsee. What? And that's why I try to like. It's hard for me sometimes to explain it because I know some people. I know some people on my channel like that are subscribed to my channel are travelers. I know some people on my that subscribe to me are just like there's some people other expats. I know some people are just interested and never have traveled before or never left the country, whatever the case may be. I know we have a spectrum over here, but I tell people all the time, like, it's not something I can explain to you. I can't explain to someone what it feels like to be black, to leave the United States and like as a black person and exist in another country where things are not how it is in the States. Like I don't know how to put that into words, but I know every single person I've talked to have spoken to this ability to not really put it into words, but to have that same feeling of like it just feels right. It just feels like I don't know. I guess you're more at peace. I don't know. Let's see. I wish you the very best and please be safe. Would you return to Mexico or another country in Latin America? So let me tell you what my plans are. So my goal, I'm gonna tell you this right now. My goal is to be in Southeast Asia by May or June of this year. That's my goal. Like, I want to go back to Thailand. I want to travel around Southeast Asia. I would love to show y'all like around Southeast Asia in different countries and really expand what Ami's Adventures is and just like because I know it's been a lot concentrated on Latin America, but I think there could be so much expansion from me going to Southeast Asia. Um, so yeah, what else? And so see, just like when I talk about travel, I'm like. Um, in the meantime, so like I said, I plan on staying for about a month um, in the US, and I'm thinking of either going up to Toronto to Canada. I'm also considering going to, because this is a real thing too. And people might think I'm weird, but I have not started medically transitioning yet. I don't know just yet when that will happen just because it's a financial thing, but I'm thinking about because I know there's so much talk about how anti-trans or anti-queer the the Caribbean countries can be like Jamaica and stuff like that. That's just what I've heard. So a part of me is considering going there next because those are countries I definitely want to go to. But I also know that there could be some unsafety with looking a certain way if I choose to medically transition in certain ways, whatever the case may be. So that's another thing. And I've also considered going back to South America because I'm in North America right now, Mexico. Going back to South America and hitting some of the countries I hadn't hit yet, like Argentina, Chile, Brazil. Oh my gosh, I definitely want to go to Brazil. Um, what else? So that's kind of like the things that are popping in my head, like Canada, maybe like Jamaica, maybe one of those, like I don't know, or possibly come going back to South America. But I feel like maybe going back to South America might be like a next year thing. I don't know. There's so many opposite, like there's so many possibilities. If there's somewhere you want to see me go, or if you have any ideas, please let me know. Drop them in the chat for me. In other words, once someone turns the light on, you can never go back into darkness. Wow. That's real. I think that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Like I feel like I'm always trying to hold at the same time the idea of my privilege and stuff like that, because I think some people will hear me say like, "Oh yeah, my quality of life is so much better abroad," and all these different things. But then at the same time, like, we see what's happening in the world, and like gentrification of certain countries because of expats, and like, I don't know, just the impacts of tourism in general in non-west I wouldn't say non-western countries, I guess. Um but I think, what was I trying to say? I don't know. It's a difficult thing to hold both, but I try to hold both, and be cognizant of that. Mavis always said it feels free and liberating. That's definitely true. Chocolate Rosette, that sounds amazing. Listen, that's when I say like, y'all, like, we're going on an adventure. Like, I don't know how many years. Like, I mean, eventually, I'm 25 right now. Eventually, like somewhere in my 30s or something, I have to like. I do want to find a home base eventually, but like, I plan on traveling like for the rest of my life, like in some capacity. Like, I don't know, like, I'm probably gonna be that person like in a walker, like 60, 80, 90 years old, still trying to like go to, I don't know, somewhere. But this is an adventure, and I plan on, taking y'all with me. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Does anyone else have any questions? I had some questions also on my Instagram. I'm gonna be going live on Instagram, and um I I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna be answering some questions because a lot of people on there had a lot of questions. I can answer some of those here, but I don't know. Let me know. Also, how's everyone feeling today? Let's see. Y'all, we got a lot of questions on this. um so someone asked me, there's a really good question someone asked me. Do you know how long you plan to be in the States? Hopefully 1 month. When you leave the States again, what next part of the world do you want to plan to go next? Um, like I said, Southeast Asia, the Caribbean, or Canada. Well, I plan on going to Southeast Asia, period. But those other places before there, because I need to have a place before I get there. Someone asked if I have to go home for legal reasons. Um, I'm not getting deported or anything, y'all. Like, that's one thing I really strive for, is like, I think maintaining like as well as you can, because sometimes stuff just happens, but find like maintaining good legal status, legal immigration, or I don't know, maintaining good immigration in the country, I think is important. I mean, also that's contextual, because I mean, there's some folks that don't have that privilege. But as a person from the US, I feel like I need to stay in the right sides of the law when it comes to stuff like that. So no, I don't have to go home for legal reasons, but my visa for Mexico is out towards the end of March. So it kind of just felt like, okay, I think this is time to go back. But I mean, I could have easily gone to another country or something like that. Well, not easily, but yeah. Um, who are you staying with and how long? Yeah, that's the question. Someone, this is from my Instagram. Um, if you know you're only plan, hold on. If you know you're only plan on being in the States for a month, WI. Could you let me know what that means, Mavis? I don't know what you mean by that, or I don't understand that one. Let me know. Um. So, what was I saying? Oh, I was answering the questions. Did you leave anything where you currently base? What and why? Everything. I'm actually leaving a lot of stuff. Um, I'm actually getting rid of a lot of stuff before I come back to the States. So I'm actually gonna um go. What's it called? I'm hoping to go back with less stuff than I had than when I came. Because when I left to move abroad, I had a big suitcase, a little suitcase, a bag, and a backpack, and something else. When will you book your flight? I've already booked my flight. I'm just waiting for I I already booked my flight. I already know when I'm going back, but I just not disclosing the date publicly on my platform just yet, just because I try not to do that in general, just for my own safety. Um, Also, I wanted to announce like some of the stuff that's coming up. So these last few days I've been in Mexico City. I've been busy, y'all. I'm recording a lot of content. I did a day in a life video in Mexico City I'm excited to edit and put together. I also collaborated with Picky Girls Travels with Adelia, and I'm gonna be posting a video about financial tips for travelers. And she really put on some good stuff on there because that's some stuff I didn't even know. What else? I went with another creator, which y'all know. Oh, okay, I'll come back to that. I also collaborated with Mikkel from Travel Mikkel, and we went to travel around the neighborhood, which is known to be the queer part of Mexico City. So I did a video there. What else? I've been up to a lot, y'all, and I definitely will be recording kind of just how re-immersion into the United States is and making that into a video as well. No, your flight to leave the States again. So that's a good question. That all depends on financial access. If it was up to me, no, the only reason, so even if I had the money to do it right now, I wouldn't book my flight right now just because I need to figure out the whole vaccine situation and make sure I'm fully vaccinated before I leave again. But if not, because if it wasn't for that, I would have left with, I would have booked my flight there with a return flight, not necessarily probably to Mexico, but for a flight back out. So that's definitely real. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to think. But yeah, let me know, y'all. I will be on live answering a lot of questions. Um, that was asked of me over there on Instagram. So that will be tomorrow at, let me double check. I will be live on Instagram tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. So basically an hour earlier than this live was. And I'll be on there, and folks sent a lot of questions, answering all those questions. Um, and yeah, so I'm probably gonna end this soon. If y'all have any other questions or any other comments, let me know. Um, if there's anything on the channel you want to see, if there's any countries you want me to go to, my goal is to go to 100 countries in my life. It's not like a bucket. I don't feel like it's a bucket list type of thing, but it's just like I'm going to go to 100 countries. Like I don't know. Like, it's just like this is a goal I'm going to achieve. It's not like oh before I die or anything like that. It's just like I'm gonna go to 100 countries. I mean, I think it'd be really cool to go to every country, but with the pandemic and everything, I don't know if that would be possible. Um, so yeah, um, I think that's pretty much it. But thank y'all so much for your questions and your well wishes. I really do appreciate the community that I've built here on this channel and all y'all that have been rocking with me because we've had quite the time here on Me's Adventures. Um, and I think we will continue to do so. I just want folks to remember and to know that I may be going to the States for some time, but this journey, this adventure is far from over. Um, I think that, like was said so beautifully earlier, like once you turn the lights on, you can never go back into the darkness. um, and that's very real. So I think that I just want folks to know that, and maybe just for my own, you know, comfort, just to like remind us this is not over. But yeah, I'm excited to show y'all my journey and what it looks like emerging back to the United States. I do plan on making content, but I also still have a lot of content from Mexico too for Mexico City that I need to post and get out to y'all. But yeah, you like the I do, Mavis. I do. I think that's a really great quote. And I think I love it when folks are able to put words to things that sometimes we're not able to put words to. Like one of my favorite quotes is like, "We cling so hard to poetry, to music, to art because we so desperately want to know that someone else. I'm not saying this exactly, but someone else can express the things that we're feeling that we can't always put words to." So I feel like whenever another person is able to encapsulate a feeling or what someone's thinking in a way, I feel like that's really beautiful, and I feel like that's a very. I also feel like a lot of times it's very intuitive as well. But I'm rambling at this point. So yeah, thank y'all so much for being here. I'll definitely have a video out to y'all next Tuesday at 2. If I can't get a video out this week, I will try to, but definitely Tuesday at 2. And what else? I think that's pretty much it. Keep up with me on the community tab. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. It's just a lot easier to like post things on there. But thank y'all so much for being who y'all are and rocking with me. Thank you for being part of this adventurous journey and this me's adventures, being a part of this family. And I love all of y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Please feel free to send me any questions or whatever if you're going to join the IG Live tomorrow. And I will see y'all next time. All right. Bye, y'all. I love y'all. I'm sending y'all so much love and a big hug. And I'll see y'all next time.